Frederick P. Brooks Jr., The Mythical Man-Month, Essays on Software Engineering. Dive into the intriguing world of software engineering with Frederick P. Brooks Jr.'s The Mythical Man-Month, Essays on Software Engineering, as it unravels the complexities and challenges faced by programmers and project managers. This book offers valuable insights on topics, such as the importance of conceptual integrity in system design, the efficient organization of project teams, communication strategies, and the quest for improving programming processes. Get ready to explore the intricacies of large system programming, the fallacy of the man-month metric, and the significance of documentation and organization within a software project.
The art of programming. Have you ever wondered why people enjoy programming? According to Frederick Brooks, the author of The Mythical Man-Month, programmers share a deep appreciation for the complexity in learning that comes with building useful things through almost pure thought. However, the measurement of time and productivity in traditional project management, called a man-month, is a dangerous and deceptive myth. Adding more people to a project doesn't necessarily mean the work gets done faster, and tasks can't always be divided among different people. So, how do you organize a programming team effectively? Brooks suggests creating specific roles, such as a chief programmer, co-pilot, administrator, editor, language lawyer, toolsmith, and tester. Finally, the most important consideration in designing a successful system is conceptual integrity, which requires a single mind or a small number of minds in agreement to be in charge of the project. A true masterpiece in programming requires a visionary few who oversee the entire process from architecture to implementation and realization. The process of designing. Architects and programmers have a similar pattern of designing. They start with a clean slate and design under a limited budget. The first version of their system tends to be simplified and straightforward. As they move on to the second version, it becomes crowded and wasteful. By the third version, they have learned what works and limit themselves to it. When designing software, specific and precise communication is essential to avoid confusion or ambiguity. Have weekly meetings with only essential personnel and an annual extended session to discuss minor issues and disagreements. Document major decisions and make sure everyone has the updated official documents. Log all telephone calls and circulate records of all calls that provide critical information from the primary architects. Effective communication in programming projects. The success of complex programming projects relies heavily on effective communication. Clear and unified communications enhance thinking, facilitate documentation, and keep everyone on the same page. A well-designed system for change and a project workbook is essential for efficient completion of any programming project. Organizing milestones with PERT charts or critical path schedules can help boost productivity and reduce scheduling pileups. As a leader, aim to promote full disclosure among your team and look for team members who show the willingness to work harder and faster when needed. Building efficient software, tips from the experts. Learn how to build efficient software with these tips from experts in the field. If you're working on developing software or a program, it's important to keep in mind that the first version you create will likely be clumsy, inefficient, and barely usable. That's why it's essential to plan for a throwaway version initially to adjust your timetables and budgets accordingly. This may involve assembly followed by discarding, instead of merely changing what you make or producing new versions of it. To design your entire system to adapt and change, you must first restructure your organization accordingly. This will be a difficult and challenging process that requires tight control during testing, especially when it comes to debugging software systems. As a project manager, you must address your project's demands, accommodate people's desires to learn and grow, and meet their needs for prestige, recognition, and knowledge of their place in the hierarchy. Companies like Bell Labs and IBM deal with these issues by jettisoning job titles or establishing a dual ladder of advancement. You also need to plan for the specific cycle of bugs and issues that your software programs will develop. To address these issues, you can make conceptual integrity your goal by thinking of your program as a work of architecture. You can assess any planned changes in terms of the functions they affect and design from the top down. It's also important to test the specifications before writing each unit of code and test each level of the program from the highest down. Allot enough time for debugging, as it will require as much time as writing the program. Additionally, any program requires clear, complete documentation. It's essential to describe the program and what it does and how it works, identifying the necessary hardware, what choices users must make, and how they must enter data. An overview of the program is essential and can be done with a one-page flowchart that documents the program's decision structure. Adhering to standard notations for all the components of a program also helps. In summary, building efficient software requires planning for a throwaway version initially, adjusting your timetables and budgets accordingly. You must also restructure your organization to design the entire system to adapt and change, plan for the specific cycle of bugs and issues that your software programs will develop, make conceptual integrity your goal, and ensure clear, complete documentation. These tips from experts in the field can help you build efficient software and achieve success in your programming endeavors. The myth of the silver bullet. The complexity of software development cannot be solved with a magic solution. Though advances in artificial intelligence, automatic programming, and expert systems may provide some benefits, none can fully meet the hopes of believers. People have grown accustomed to hardware improvements that make computers increasingly faster. However, software development remains a challenging task that cannot be solved with a silver bullet. The complexity of human culture and the intangible nature of software make it difficult to visualize and to represent in a tangible way. Though advances in artificial intelligence, automatic programming, and expert systems may provide some benefits, none can fully meet the hopes of believers. In the past, high-level languages, time-sharing, and unified programming environments have brought about major breakthroughs. More recently, buying software instead of creating it and reusing components have been helpful. But in the future, helping clients determine their needs and providing rapid prototyping will be essential. Brooks' law states that adding manpower to a late software project only makes it later. Therefore, two approaches are needed to acknowledge software's essential human and artistic challenges. First, programmers must change their metaphors. Instead of writing or building programs, they must think of growing them incrementally. Second, it is essential to find talented people early and engineer careers that provide them with deep and broad experience. By creating venues where they can interact with other growing designers and providing mentors to help them develop, art can advance through the work of great artists.
In conclusion, the Mythical Man-Month presents a comprehensive view of software engineering by addressing the crucial aspects of project management, communication, and organization. Brooks effectively tackles the fallacies associated with the Man-Month metric and highlights the importance of constructing robust organizations and embracing conceptual integrity in system design. By recognizing the artistic and human dimensions of software design, the book offers invaluable approaches to growing great designers and fostering their advancement. Whether you're a programmer, project manager, or simply interested in the field, this book serves as an essential guide to navigating the ever-evolving landscape of software engineering.